map. So interested to see how this Anne would play out. Exy again, known for this character, especially in round number 2. Let's see how he'll be faring against these survivors. Spawned near Shack, and we're going to be seeing how which survivor is going to go after. Ad already in the immediate vicinity. We're seeing a build of 3-6, so trump card as well as detention. So already investing in the late game if ever. And now Exy finds the mechanics doll and tries to just put a cat in the way just to have some vision on the area.
Yes, and good start here for WElBO, in which case all these survivors just going to be in a position where they're just going to casually start going in for the decoding on the cipher. It's not really a full commit just yet, except for the stall, of course, which would be an optimal takedown. Already starting to close out some distance. Tries to go for the swipe, and I believe did not connect.
Yeah, it did not. That doll was very slippery, and you see over there that there's some ciphers being popped, especially at church and as in the hospital. Oh, sorry, God, I'm mentioning all the maps inside the factory, and you see that the mechanics doll is still out and about, still trying to use these cats to get something going. And as he's trying to as this is happening, you know, some ciphers are already being primed, and he is not going for that commit to that forward because this mechanic is doing a great job at hiding.
Yeah, and okay, looks like finally, will we be seeing a commit towards anybody? Yes, we'll just continue to commit towards Ad, and unfortunately for Ad, gets caught up there, and the first hit will finally come in as Exy commits towards a survivor chase.
Yeah, this is the most optimal one, but look at how much progress has already been made on those ciphers, so he really has to make this chase count. Ad going to the corner of this map, realizing that he needs to go to an area where he cannot disrupt any cipher rushes, and Exy will get his first survivor down. Gonna go for that chair right away just to, you know, just to shift priorities from decoding to go save this mechanic. But the mechanics doll is still out and about.
Some pretty good progress overall coming in from WElBO. It did take a little bit of a while for Exy to warm up here towards committing towards the survivor. We'll just play out the defense for now, keep Tang in check as well. Now, big question is, WElBO's blue already starting to veer towards the vicinity to hopefully go for the save. Exy already knows what's up there, as that Gravekeeper will emerge up and go for the save. Takes the
good timing on that cat. Oh, gets the chair hit, and my goodness, another hit, but on the side of blue. So great body blocking, great prioritization here in that sequence. Even though it just happened in split seconds, you got to give it up for Exy to just try to pick up the pieces from what WElBO is presenting, and he gets another a double down on the side of Exy.
Yes, this will hamper the progress on ciphers just a little bit, but take note, it is all good. WElBO has already invested a lot towards making sure that a lot is prepped. Look at this! 2 ciphers already nearing completion, one of which is just a speck away. One more now, in which case, so WElBO in general is just completely on track here. Tang gonna be suffering a hit, but it's just fine. Just all the boosts that he needs to try to go for a rescue.
Yeah, and then you see that the forward tried to, just get the attention. Here we have the coordinator coming into the vicinity, making sure that he is constantly a threat because that gun is still there. Oh, eats the hit. Forward is also in the area, pushes Exy to probably a disadvantageous situation, and Tang is still on the case here. We do see that the mechanic is being closed in on, gets the last hit. Are we going to see a pop? Yes, we are, and a coordinator flare gun to top it off. Great timing on WElBO's side. Exy has to make something happen, switches to teleport, and now zones in on this coordinator.
Yes, this is going to be huge, in which case for WElBO, all 4 survivors up and kicking at most. The best that WElBO could probably get is at least 3 survivors out of the gate, should they play their cards right. Of course, from what we're seeing here, Exy is committing towards chairing this 1 survivor. This should be ample enough time for WElBO to start getting the setup done. Tang is trying to work hard on it. Has to be careful. Exy is in the vicinity, plus the teleport.
Oh, wow. Gonna go for that teleport right away with the cat. And now Tang is on the radar of this disciple, uses and exhausts the football just to gain some distance, but detention is going to be a factor there. Just downs right away. The proactivity on Exy, not choosing to chair the forward and going after his original target, which was the coordinator. And now we see that blue is in the radar of Exy as well.
Yeah, it looks like WElBO's really trying to get the optimal numbers out of the gate here. Definitely not wanting to give XC any opportunity to try to rake in any points, and very well, much an open opportunity because WElBO has all their 4 numbers here. Like I said, the best they could get out of this is 3. They're still trying to play out towards getting more, but at this point in time, I think they're in a pretty good position.
Yeah, again, it's a mark of a champion if you don't want to settle for anything less. But we see Eggsy is still determined in sending this coordinator back. We see that the survivors are all the way on the other side of the map. Eggsy making his way towards Shaq, and now you see that the jumps are coming in, especially with that cap buff. And now can they get the gate open in time? They are, I believe so. I think it's gonna be a 3-1 Articuno. That is going to do the hunting for WElBO, spawning here outside the factory. Let's see who he'll commit to first. I believe he is, just trying to rotate towards the center of the map. Again, just a tough guy lineup all throughout. Let's see how long they'll be able to survive in terms of the bombs that D will be setting out for them. And he is going to use Blink, so he really wants to down as much as possible. When it comes to the persona traits, we're seeing Confined Space as well as Trump Card, so late game is not an option for D.
Yes, sirree. Now, looking at D's progress here, trying to scout out a survivor in the vicinity. Nobody that's within immediate reach, but he does get a bit of a hint on one of the survivors within the area, and looks like the sneak doesn't quite work out there for Xiao D, as he will get spotted out. Tries to duck and weave, but that won't be the case, as D just goes in straight away.
Forcing Xiao D to use a shovel right away. Man, D is... Yeah, he definitely has to... He doesn't have the benefit of choosing, because all these guys are pretty hard survivors to nail down. D, again, trying to find the right terrain to get the Gravekeeper out of the dig state, and going for a regular hit, downs the Mercenary within the first 2 minutes of this game. The Gravekeeper.
Not bad for D, in which case I was a little bit worried, because those first few seconds were a little bit stale, but made up easily for a lot of lost ground by getting those optimal hits with the bomb. But Weirdo just instantly coming in and tries to salvage out Xiao D here, but unfortunately...
Did you see that timing on just knowing that Weirdo was going to go for that stun, not cheering him right away. So I love the patience coming from D, really making sure to salvage as much as possible this chaired Gravekeeper.
Indeed. And just gonna be playing hardcore defense, in which case Haya is in the area. I mean, at this point in time, the Mercenary would be the most optimal survivor to try to go for the rescue, just so that he can soak up some of the damage as a result of the heavy fortress that he is going to be establishing around Xiao D right now. Question is, can Haya find an opening?
Who tried to go for that time bomb again, just trying to swat away anyone that tries to go for a rescue. But also, you know what, that's the thing about Bonbon. It's like you want to swat them away, but at the same time, your most optimum bomb range is really within the chair. So it's like you kind of want to draw them like a moth to a flame. And going for the teleport right away, knows the timing of that Gravekeeper will expire, sees that the person he went to was the Wildling. I don't know if he was able to jump on his boar right away, but immediately changing targets because they are going for that heals, and Articuno, still 5 ciphers remain, so big task ahead of MRC, even though 2 of them are close to being popped.
Yes, and this is the deficiency that they're kind of dealing with right now, wherein with a lack of decoder, they really have to play the game towards making sure that they prolong the minutes, that they try to keep themselves up just so that they can work on those ciphers with their natural ability. That said, it is a tricky task right now that they're dealing with, since there isn't a single pop. Luckily, there are 2 prime though, so that they have that working for them. But at the pace that D is going, the pressure is on for MRC.
It's slowly building up, right? Because again, they still have some resources to work with. You see that the Mercenary still has the elbow pads to work with and try to buy as much time as possible for this forward and this Wildling. So the pressure is getting stronger and stronger as this chase continues. And let's see how Haya will be able to last in the ruined part of this map. While you see on the lower left side, the forward is trying to push some objectives and try to push for at least 3 ciphers remaining.
Yeah, D just trying to look for the right moment. There you go, another dash coming in from Haya, but D is really starting to close in here, and down he goes.
Wow, so great timing on that bomb to the regular hit. Again, this is what's so good about Bon mains. They really know how to time their regular bombs with those hits just to negate the delayed effect of that Mercenary. Now, this Mercenary does have a longer time on that rocket share, so it would buy some time for them to be able to rotate to try and save this Mercenary.
Yes, and WeirDo just kind of hiding behind, making sure to dodge around the bombs, looking for a proper opening. And that's kind of the tricky thing here. MRC, especially with the number of ciphers that they still need to work on, they can't really afford to lose out on any more members, which is why getting the rescue onto Haya is very crucial. Look at that, WeirDo coming straight in, but still finds himself trying to duck and weave for an opening, dashes straight in, and looks like we'll be getting the rescue onto Haya, but has to be very careful as D is starting to close it.
Oh man, no tide turner, and also the football is negated. Oh, Haya getting that hit, and then the delayed effect will be popped up, and it's just a matter of time. He can down him with these bombs just to make the chase a little lesser, so he has less to worry about, and it's going to be the second time this Mercenary will be seeing that rocket share with 3 ciphers still remaining. As you see, the Wildling is trying to push as hard as he can to get these objectives happening.
Yes, at least the small consolation that MRC is getting out of this is they were able to salvage the Mercenary just before he was able to hit that half point, which is why he still has another life to him should MRC be able to go for the rescue. But it seems like at this point in time, they're just going to have to maximize the time that Haya is on that chair where D is playing defense to try to work on these ciphers. They cannot waste any more time. And look at this. It has worked out quite nicely. Wildling able to pop yet another cipher, 300, almost near 300%, or even over 300% for this Wildling right now as far as working on these ciphers. And you know, there's not really much that they can do. They have to, without the decoder, they just have to continue to commit.
Yeah, and I love the patience being brought to the table by D. Has the teleport, but wants to make sure he has the most optimal target. As you see, the main decoder of the team here, the Wildling, is now being chased after by D. But yeah, jumps on his boar right away. Will he be going for that full commit? Because 1 cipher remains, and it is the forward that's trying to prop it up. And the forward, again, a little bit of it has a decoding buff. King C does have to kite for as long as he can just to get that cipher primed and ready for them to push for the late game.
Yes, and the chase continues.
Oh,
but look,
going for the teleport.
Teleport indeed, but look at this. WeirDo has a different trick up his sleeve this time around, but of course that's not really gonna last him long enough at this point in time. Has to stop, doesn't really make it in time, has to try to go for the juke, but gets hit on the head as D will gladly content himself with taking WeirDo to a rocket chair, but probably not just yet. Might want to
he doesn't want
to
yeah, he wants to be able to we've seen this trend, right? They want to be able to try to get as much survivors as possible. Thinking about it, I guess he's gonna go for it. He does want to try to get as much points as possible, but again, 3-1 isn't so bad. Now forcing King C to go for either a save or just push for those objectives or dungeon.
And looking at positioning for the dungeon, a little bit far off from where it is in position. I mean, there is still a bit of a way to go to on WeirDo, and at this point, this Wildling still has a lot to work with, I would say. So at least the feasibility of going for a dungeon, try to wait out until WeirDo is sent back to the manor, is very much within reach for this particular survivor. Question is...
Yeah. The question is?
Oh, question is whether or not D will be able to halt that, and what the direction this Wildling will be going. Whether or not we'll go for the save. I mean, WeirDo is already near expiration, so probably not going to be making it. So dungeon is going to be the best bet this time.
Oh, finds King C now, sees that he'll be able to get the big 5 if ever. But then again, no detention, and the dungeon is right there. It looks like it's just going to be a 3-1. GG's might be called because D is just making sure that he just tries to hit him with those bombs. But what a game by WeLBO.